Niggas steal kids because y'all still in a mind state. I ain't giving a bitch nothing. I ain't doing none of that. Like, bro, some niggas don't even want to deal with a bitch that don't want nothing. Like, fuck is y'all in high school meeting at the locker still? Like, shit going on. Life, money, it costs money. Car bills, house notes, phone bills, all type of shit be going on. Nigga be talking, I ain't giving a bitch nothing, man. Bitch better, like, yeah, bitch better call another nigga, man. Because y'all niggas ain't the ones. Y'all shit together, dog. Real. And I ain't saying no wild ass trick about bitch person. I'm talking about real grown man responsibilities. Lift some stress off her weight. That's why the pussy be getting wetter sometimes when niggas be having dog shit and they bumping that little hoe and the pussy be like, damn, that motherfucker was fire because you handling business. But bumping to another nigga who ain't got nothing to offer, be like, man, that motherfucker, you what? You said that motherfucker was fire? Motherfucker wasn't shit for real. Like, nigga, of course it wasn't shit.
You may have no idea who this is, so let me get you a little familiar. This is a rapper named Babyface Ray. Now, two things about him. He is a drug dealer rapper, right? But I'm sure he was also a street nigga that was selling drugs before he actually got into rapping. So he's coming from the mind frame of not only a trick, but somebody who has a lot of money and more than likely has bought his fair share of cat in his life. Just flat out. Just keeping it all the way real. So with that being said, you understand who this information is coming from, who this perspective is coming from. And this is the thing about it. It's not, and he may be talking to drug dealers and stuff like that, but when you hear this, like, you know, a lot of black people listen to these types of guys, especially young black dudes and stuff like that. So a lot of younger people are more influential, like, you know, they're easily influenced. What is the word? They're more impressionable as far as the younger generations and stuff like that. So this is the thing about this. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real. We're going to go down the hierarchy of things. If this is your wife, yes, you should be paying bills. You know, you guys are living together in the same house. You know, if you could pay all the bills, great. If you could pay 50% of the bills, 75%, whatever. And I'm going to be honest because this is a channel where we keep it all the way real. Even though we may have 50-50 conversations and stuff like that, I believe you have to know the woman that you are with. And you got to know if this is a woman that comes from a good household, from a good background. She hasn't been brainwashed by all this, you know, black social media, all this weird shit that's going on right now. And that she is grateful for a guy that is willing to go half with her if you are somebody that's going to do the 50-50. Outside of that, when it comes to most women, a healthy thing is for you to be in control and pay for most of this shit. That's just what it is. And that's just me keeping it all the way real. And you may ask why. Why should a dude do that? Or why is that something you should do? The truth is, and I've seen this multiple times, and this is especially for the people who have the conditioning that I just talked about. And I've told stories about it on the channel before. When a woman is paying the majority, that gives her the leverage. And then also she is upset. And the reason she is upset is because of a universal reason. Women don't want to lead. They truly don't want to lead. They think they want to lead, but the truth is they want to be led in most cases. And let me take it a step further and just keep it all the way real with you. And this is no matter, like, just take money out of the equation and think more broad when I say what I'm about to say. They want a man that is superior to them. That is hypergamy. They want a man that is superior. I can even hit you with another analogy. You know, a woman that gets with a king becomes a queen. A man who gets with a queen is just another guy. He doesn't become a king from getting with a queen. And we could go on about this for days, but you get the point. So when we talk about having a wife, somebody that you're going to be committed to long term, or even, and we'll get to the next one right now, a woman that you are with, as far as your lady, your girl, you're in a monogamous relationship, and you plan to go the distance with her, but you don't believe in marriage. Yeah, you should pay some bills and things like that. You guys should be, doing the life together and stuff like that. That's what it is. She should be contributing to your life in certain ways, as far as easing your stress, making your life less difficult, being your peace. And outside of that, you should lift some stress off her shoulders as well with the finances and just doing the man shit like fucking moving the cabinet and mowing the grass and stuff like that. So with that, that's the two situations where I would say that this applies to some extent. Now, the one thing I want to make clear that we will discuss later, this money stuff shouldn't be the foundation of why she likes you. We'll get to that later. But let's go down, because we're going down the list. Let's talk about the other types of women. Let's talk about one of your hoes. We just gonna keep it real. If this is somebody that you are not a man that is dating anybody exclusively, whether you on some player stuff to where you lying to chicks and all that stuff and you making them think they the only one or whatever, or you are keeping it all the way real and you were telling them like, listen, like, you're not the only one, or you were implying it or whatever, in that case, keep your bread, in my opinion. And I'll get to why a little later. But if these are your side chick, if this is like what he's talking about is not applicable. If you were pursuing a woman, that's another thing as well, a whole nother lane, because this woman doesn't even have an identity in your life for real yet, because she hasn't really given you the investment of her coochie or anything. And that be the thing. A lot of these chicks don't really have a lot to give you. So it's like you got to fork over the coochie like at some point. And that's at some point, that's at least something other than just your presence, because these chicks don't be having no personality. They don't be bringing nothing to the table. A lot of them, it just be like, what? Like, it's really just coochie. Like, that's it. That's all the value. You don't make a dude life easier. You don't ease his stress. You don't do nothing. You're not even fit to raise his child if he was to nut inside you. That's how it be with a lot of these chicks. But listen, if you're pursuing somebody and you go the date route, that's cool. But it should stop there, man. You shouldn't be paying no bills or no stuff like that. I'm not going to get on here and live. Paid in my younger years a cheap ass $35 phone bill before for a chick and stuff like that, And that'd be the little stuff. I ain't really like, it's nothing to sweat. But even then, I didn't have to do that, because guess what? That same chick that I paid the little phone bill for, my dude went to her house and got topped. He got topped and then left. He didn't invest nothing. He just got topped and then dipped out. So it wasn't even necessary. You could say, oh, it was necessary for you, though. I didn't have to do that. I know I didn't have to do that. But I did it. And I'm not going to lie. Again, I said it was my younger years. I realized later that that was a test to see if I was willing to spend bread. And this is the thing about that on the real. Most of the time, I would just, oh, man, that's crazy. If a chick bring up a problem, oh, that's crazy. That's all I would say. Like, oh, that's crazy. But for some reason with this chick, I was like, $35, that ain't shit. Like, dog, I'm making damn near a rack. Every check, 35, like, have that. But anyways, let's get past that point. So you got the hoes and you got the women you pursuing. And then even when I say the hoes, it's just like, let me rephrase that. Let me say your rotation. And then let me say the women you pursuing. And in between that, as far as your rotation, because chicks out of your rotation, they may have a possibility of becoming your girl at some point. But when we talk about the actual hoes, and that's in between pursuing and rotation, the actual hoes, The chicks who like, okay, you know this chick got 10 bodies. You done heard stories from your mans or whatever the case may be. You just trying to smut her out for real. Absolutely no bread. Nothing. Nothing. That's what it is. So with all of that being said, and we got all that out the way, what he's trying to say is that this is a kid mentality, and that if you are not willing to spend, she should go and get another guy and stuff like that. And this is the thing about that, man. It's two things going on with him right now. I'm going to just get the first one out of the way. He's a public figure. He's a rapper. He's a trick. He's trying to earn coochie points online. That's what's going on. He is pandering so that he could have more women, you know, like him and admire him. So when he go to their city, they want to fuck with him and et cetera, et cetera. And it just opens the doors. It gets a lot of chicks messaging him and stuff like that. So with that, he's trying to pander to women to reel them in. And he's not no seminar dude to where he's going to do a relationship seminar and get money off of them. No, he's trying to pander to get coochie. He's trying to pander to get coochie points. So that's the first thing. Now that we got that out of the way, as far as the kid stuff and being immature and stuff like that, this is the thing, man. Somebody like him, it's a couple things. The first thing, I'll get this out of the way. I talk about the financial aspect as far as realistically, as far as most men and just how the economy is going and how expensive a house is and things like that, how high the rent is and how the cost of living is crazy. And you actually need two incomes just to live in one house. You cannot really be, for most Americans, especially most males that live in this country, you cannot be in a house and just have your income. You have to have a second income. You got to have a roommate. You got to have a babe that's kicking something in. You got to have something. So with that being said, that's the reality for the majority of Americans, right? The majority of Americans in almost any city that you point at in America. So with that being said, rent is hard enough for us to pay. What the fuck? We about to pay a car note and some rent and like what? Regular men are not going to do that because we don't have the disposable income to do that. So this is just unrealistic for most people. You are a drug dealer rapper who gets booked tens of thousands to come and perform places. So yeah, I could understand your perspective. And also, you probably against kicking game. You probably really just trying to pay for the coochie. Just like, hey, man, what is the down payment I need? He's from Detroit. There's a rapper named Peasy from Detroit, and he has a line that I will never forget. He said what it costs, something along the lines of, how much do I need to pay you? Should only cost a couple hundred to fuck. He said something along those lines. So dudes is out here paying $200 to regular women for a coochie. And trust me, this is not a lie. I'm from the black community. I've actually seen women who this has happened to, and they've taken the 200 and fucked the guy. So with that being said, that's where he comes from. Peasy actually is from the same clique as him. So that's the whole mentality that they have, like spend money to get women. So we got that out the way as far as that not being realistic. We also threw in a bonus that, you know, of course, he's from a clique where some of the dudes trick. But this is the other thing as far as it being immature. It's like men don't know their own value. If you invest into a woman financially, like that is a blessing for her, especially on some like, and even then, he talking about the coochie get wetter and stuff like this. What value is she actually bringing to your life to where you feel the need to spend that money on her? Is she going to reciprocate that value in any way other than coochie? Because this is the thing that I also tell you guys on this channel. Like, you know, the stuff he's talking, it sounds cool. She's fucked a man for free. She's fucked a man for absolutely no money down. That's what it is. So it's like, yeah, this stuff, oh, the coochie be wetter when it. That's the funny other thing about the analogy that he said, or the little example. He said, oh, the coochie wasn't as good as it was, or as good as you said it was. Yeah, because you wasn't spending nothing. Think about that. So you felt the need to spend money on this chick, and you were mad that other dudes is not spending money on this chick, but your man's hit and he wasn't doing what you did. Why would you think that's a woman worth investing in the first place? It just gets dumber the more I think about it. So yeah, you could try and say it's immature and stuff like that, but I know where that's coming from. I know that's coming from, let me put this out there and just try and get more coochie. That's the place that it's coming from. Let me try and pander to women so that I can get more coochie. But outside of that, I do believe that you should invest into women that you are committed to, whether it's just a relationship or whether it's a marriage. If you decide to get married, I do believe you should invest. And also, I know hypergamy is a real thing. But this is the thing. Hypergamy is not strictly about money. It's not strictly about money. That's why they say looks, money, status. The extra one that I throw in there is personality, because that really matters. And that's where all the game and finesse and all of that stuff comes from. And it really actually works. I know a lot of people try and tell, oh, yeah, man, you know, that's bullshit. It actually works. You do have to have some other stuff going on, set in place and all that stuff. But that's what it is. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to subscribe and like the video. I'll see y'all later.